It truly amazes me with Quantum how he will plead and harass people, but never expect any of this to come back towards him. No, 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 no. Quantum just loves to stir the pot and gain some attention. Well, since, Review Tech USA and, his name that shall not be spoken, Actman, isn't giving you the attention anymore, but Quantum, Daddy Gar is here. He'll give you the attention, baby. I'll give it to you real good. Now, a lot of you may be saying right now, Gar, you promised a Diablo Immortal video. What is up? What is going on? Well, Quantum TV decided to make another video on this one. This one is pretty spicy, though, and just get your popcorn and get it something nice to drink and just kick back, relax, and get ready for this video because it's going to be a good one. A nice, spicy video.
So today a hit piece came out on Quantum TV, and I kind of want to talk about what our community is being accused of now.
I love how he tried to spin this around saying that his community is being attacked, when in reality, that whole video by Kappa is attacking you. Well, not really attacking, criticizing you, Quantum, for your shitty behavior. But you'll never accept your shitty behavior. But, everybody knows what's coming very soon. So let's just go ahead and play the video.
And it's not going to be the typical stuff that's usually associated with the actman good, Quantum TV bad rhetoric that these people like to push out. Because let's be real, YouTube has already decided on that, and they're the only people that can make a move on that, all right? And they already put it in writing, no violations occurred.
Can I just say something real quickly? Every time this man opens his mouth, it's always about the actman or YouTube, but, he never respects YouTube unless it goes into his favor. Or my favorite part, though, about this whole little rambling he does, he tries to victimize himself like hasn't done a single damn thing.
That situation has been squashed for like the longest time now. But I actually found it more interesting that Kappa wanted to kind of challenge me, if you will, on some of the statements that I've made in the AV community. And I'm more than open to that because maybe if you don't know enough about TVs, it can be confusing to you, Mr. Kappa. So I wanted to kind of explain it for him. And then who knows, maybe if this video could give value to other people in the community who maybe are new to TVs, it could be very useful. So smack a like on this video because I'm getting to the point right now.
Can someone please send a message to Quantum TV telling them stop using outdated memes and stuff and Facebook memes, especially the Minion one? I know there's some friends of mine that love using the Minion ones, but every time I see Quantum using those type of memes, I just freaking cringe. Also, Quantum, I'm going to take a I should say a move out of your playbook. Let me just say this real quickly. Kappa in that video was spitting facts. I went to go look at HDR's channel. That man is spitting facts too. You, on the other hand, are a false... you're not exactly a TV calibrator or a good reviewer in this sense. Anybody with a logical frontal lobe can practically see that when you did the Elden Ring video, you gave that... How can I explain this? You gave Elden Ring a 0 out of 10. You also bashed on other properties like Black Panther, and I'm not going to say what he said in that video. If you're curious to what he said in that video, just go ask Minxie or ask me in the comment section. I'll tell you what he said, and it was pretty freaking vile too. But when he did review Pokemon Arceus Legends, he didn't even complete that game. As far as he got to where you got the first Pokeflute and the first Sacred Beast or whatever beast. I can't remember because it's been a long while since I last played it. But Quantum, you are not a reviewer. You don't review games. You barely review TVs at all. My God, every time I see you try to review a TV or whatever, it's sloppy as hell. And for someone that cares very, very much about sound, video quality, all that type of stuff, you are shit tier. You are shit tier. Like, I want a honest to God answer from Quantum. Why the hell are you using your cell phone to record this footage of your television that you're trying to review? None of that makes sense. Why aren't you getting like a high quality camera to record? But I know why. I know why you don't do that. There's a reason why.
Now, one of the points that he made in this video, I won't be playing any of his footage to prove a point that you can talk about somebody without using footage. That's a thing. But also, I wanted to show you guys just kind of some of the logic that these people are using to justify things. One of the things he says in his video is that HDTV Test has like 400,000 subscribers. That's a lot. And basically, insinuating that you should trust this guy because he has almost 500,000 people following him.
Oh, really, Quantum? That's what he said because he had 500,000 viewers? That's the only reason why? Actually, you know what? Let me do your job for you, Quantum TV. Let me do that real quickly. Play the clip from Kappa's channel, please.
You've run across a channel named HDTV Test with almost 500,000 subscribers. That's a lot. The man behind it has many years of experience dealing with the specifics of display panels, so he knows his stuff, which makes his recommendations on products and advice regarding which settings to use extremely useful, and even his most outlandish opinions can still very much be said to generally represent the community as a whole.
Man, oh man, oh man. You know, it just sounds like he was just trying to defame someone, just like he did the Actman, Review Tech USA, and Mischief. You know, Quantum, you have patterns, buddy. And I'm really itching to expose them.
But then goes on to get frustrated, right? When I say things like HDR versus SDR is a scam. Like, HDR is not the improvement they said it was going to be. Many people are not impressed by HDR. I have proven in side-by-side examples where HDR falls apart. It lacks the contrast. It lacks the depth. It lacks the color. Even though it says it's 10-bit color, it doesn't look as impressive as when you take SDR and you slap it in a higher, a higher color space, right? So, of course, that's an unorthodox approach, but that does look a lot better than the current HDR, which literally just washes the hell out at a lot of studios and content pieces that you can watch on it. And it usually is very inconsistent.
Quantum, how are we supposed to notice the difference when you use your shitty little camera to record and it barely probably hits like maybe 720, maybe 1080p? Yeah, we're really going to notice the difference and see what you're talking about, Quantum. God, you are the biggest dumbass on this planet, man. You know what? I'm also going to let Kappa, I'm going to take a clip from Kappa too. Please go subscribe to Kappa. He's a really awesome guy. So I'm going to take a clip from Kappa's video and show you what really happened. Besides Quantum over here, you know, playing the victim and lying, trying to protect himself, supposedly.
Firstly, he has several times in the past claimed HDR, or high dynamic range, looks worse than standard on televisions. This is an uncommon opinion among the layman, as in you and I. It's a frankly unheard of opinion in the TV reviewer space because it is straight up incorrect. It's just wrong. When switching between the two, initially HDR might look more washed out. This is something that occasionally tricks average consumers like your grandparents or dead people. Quantum TV, given the name, reviews televisions for a living. At least that's what I'm told. The fact he holds this opinion, and the reason he does, should immediately disqualify him from any level of credibility in his field.
Wow, Quantum, he was really angry in that video, man. Man, he was fuming, punching at the walls and everything. Quantum, you're a fucking liar.
Like, for example, there isn't a single, and I will say this, there isn't a single person who's ever gamed on PC with HDR on that has seen true HDR, because HDR on Windows is broken. But if we were to believe the rhetoric coming off of this guy, HDR is just better all the time, turn it on. This is the kind of harmful nonsense that makes your viewing experience.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a fucking idiot.
Hey guys, would you look at that? Quantum TV. Quantum TV knows everything about PC, and he says HDR is a FOSS. This is the same man that, well, you know what? I'll let the video talk for itself. Give me a quick moment.
So can anyone tell me why the performance is so bad on Mortal Kombat 11 on an RTX 3080 Ti? This is pretty much the only game that I experienced this with, but it's pretty bad, as you can see. Like, it lags so heavily, and it's terrible. And just so you see there, it is an RTX 3080 Ti, so... Honestly, I think this is like a big giant commercial as to why you don't buy these expensive things, because when you do, I mean, just look at the performance. And now look at it, it's glitching out. Literally into like multiple layers, all glitched out like this. This is the only game I see this on, but like, this is crazy crap to me. So if you've run into this and you know how to fix this, or what in the actual hell is going on, please help me out, because I have no idea what I'm doing here. Thanks, and as always, I appreciate you for being a part of the #1 brand in honesty. Till the next video, see you guys later.
Do I really need to say any more? Like, the possibility that's wrong with his game is that this is probably old footage of where he had his computer infested with viruses. I mean viruses, mind you, malware too. That's what a lot of people were pointing out in the comment section before I could get a hold of it. 2, he doesn't know how to update his drivers. Or 3, his CPU is dog shit. And there could be multiple other reasons. Maybe he pirated the game, who knows. Multiple things. But anyway, let's get back on topic, guys.
Broken. But if we were to believe the rhetoric coming off of this guy, HDR is just better all the time, turn it on. This is the kind of harmful nonsense that makes your viewing experience lesser. Now, if you feel that you prefer a more muted color paletry, you don't like colors to be closer to real life, then that's a preference and go for it. But the idea that like HDR has to be this end all to be all, it's the next generation, it's just wrong. That's why TVs now are being sold on quantum dot OLEDs versus HDR improvements, because nobody cares about HDR anymore. Many people, including HDTV Test, by the way, pointed out the fact that companies just straight up lie about HDR and make fake HDR.
Huh, that looks like Fallout 76. Like, we already knew this. You know, many people have already tested this, and, you know, Bethesda is a fucking liar, as usual, Quantum. Thanks for nothing on that, you useless prick.
There are multiple examples of video games that have broken HDR sliders, broken HDR in general, where it's not even real HDR. So this concept that Quantum TV doesn't know what he's talking about in the television world when he says HDR is a scam just kind of proves that you don't know what you're talking about.
Quantum, how does that correlate to the televisions that don't have that HDR is trash? That sounds like the video game's problem, not the TV's problem. Oh my god, I'm gonna have an aneurysm with this dude. This dude is woo.
Now, to move on to one of the other things that he was saying, he goes on to say that when you go to certain TVs, like certain Samsung TVs, and you turn the sharpness down to 0 because your expert Vincent Teo told you to do so, that you can under-sharpen your television because the factory had it set to 20, and when it's set to 20, that's the default value. You don't want to go lower than that default value because you start obviously blurring the picture. And that concept is foreign to some people. They don't understand that certain TVs truly did work that way. And again, it kind of comes with experience. If you get more on time with these screens, you start calibrating more, you start adjusting these TVs more, you will start to see this more. But the concept here that this guy, Kappa, whoever, is pulling out is basically Quantum's a bad human being, and he's bad because I have an emotion that he's bad, but also he doesn't know anything about TVs because I feel he's a bad guy.
I'll go ahead and play the clip from Kappa's video just to prove a point.
Quantum TV thinks this man is a moron, a paid-off goon with no morality, and generally disagrees with opinions held by both him and the community as a whole, which should tell you everything you need to know about him as a person. He specifically had issues with this video, which broadly covers some settings that are generally harmful to picture quality. Again, broadly. Quantum comes in with a slam dunk, proclaiming that there's actually nuance. Like, yeah, no shit! He gets annoyed at phrases like, you should set the sharpness to 0. Artificial sharpness does reduce picture quality. It's quite bad for TVs, but he comes back with a slam dunk of, on some Samsung TVs, 20 is actually 0. 0 actually blurs it, which is the most actually that I've ever heard in my entire life. He states that some people actually like motion smoothing, and telling them to turn it off is stupid. Now, despite being objectively wrong, motion smoothing is, I hate it, it sucks. Mr. HDTV actually mentions that some people prefer the setting, less than 10 seconds into the topic. Is it not ironic that a man who reviews televisions cannot be bothered to finish watching anything? You can actively disagree with everything I'm saying, but the one thing you can't take away from me is, at the very least, I watched his videos and understand where he's coming from. I just think he's a moron. The paid-off goon part I mentioned comes at the end of the video, where our gracious hero defends the little guys by calling out the corrupt charlatan because there is a sponsored segment with something called Filmmaker Mode. Dropping all pretense and sarcasm, Filmmaker Mode is, and I'm not kidding, a glorified preset on a TV. When setting the picture quality on your TV, you may scroll past things like cinema, or movie, or gaming. Filmmaker Mode is basically that, except it's endorsed by technicians and professionals. It's also free. and entirely optional. This whole sponsored segment is more or less a PSA, and at worst, it's just like a press release.
It's that emotions bullshit where people put their emotions before the facts, and that's just not how it works. The concept is you're going to have a lot of people like Kappa who know nothing about TVs. In fact, he's not an active member of the AV community, but rather he makes a living off of just shit-talking people. It's basically a glorified Alex Jones, and maybe his day is coming with all the slanderous content he puts out. It's what he does. But the concept of these young boys that know nothing about anything other than running their little immature mouths off as they live in their mother's basement, getting triggered when one of their homeboys gets their mother's called because they're not even man enough to pay their own phone bill and it just happened to pop up, okay? That's what they're on right now. And listen, I really don't care what anyone's opinion is about me receiving death threats and people threatening my family and then reaching out to another content creator to try to get that situation resolved. Don't care about that. You can feel it was off limits. You can have your feelings all you want. It really doesn't matter. But what I'll say is this: when you start attacking my channel and my virtue as a content creator and what I do every day and think that you're just going to completely walk away from that like you're not going to be answered, it's just ridiculous. The concept here is that you're using your hatred, your blind hatred, to spread willingly and knowingly misinforming pieces of content. And I think it's a disgusting, horrible thing that you're doing, using your bigger influence of over 300,000 subscribers to try to sit on somebody with less because you can. And I think, again, it's just a shitty thing that you all have been doing since the start of this. And you've been using the most false statements you could possibly make to do so. So again, as we talk about televisions, if you want to come on to the channel and you want to talk, go ahead and talk. I will own you any day of the week, I promise you, and you might actually learn something.
Hey, Quantum, aren't you the dude that bullied Mischief, copyright striked him? Aren't you that same guy that used his own subscriber base to attack him, all that type of stuff? And aren't you the same guy that used the copyright system to strike down Hypocrite Hunter 66? Yeah, I think you're the same guy that you tried to, how can I explain this, gaslight people, if I'm using it correctly. See, you're just trying to use excuses, try to get out of stuff. And your little fifis too, Quantum, get me on the same fucking Discord chat with you. Get me in there. I want to be in there. Get me in there because I'll eat you alive. I'll make you cry. I'll make... I gotta stop for a second. Quantum, aren't you the same person that begged not to get family members involved and groveled on the floor too to not get family members? But then you called actman's mom on her landline and threatened her legally. And if she didn't give you the phone number to actman or give your number to him. I remember that little arc, Quantum. Oh, and Quantum, I have a little message for you, personally from me. Here's something I don't understand. Why you call people by mindless names? The only thing it shows is your fear and the scared little child you are. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. And if you really did enjoy the content, please hit the like button and comment in the comment section. I like talking to you guys. It's always a pleasure too. And if you really did enjoy the content, there is a big red subscribe button at the bottom of this video. Hit it. You'll get more of my videos. And hell, I'm going to improve my content every single day for you guys. And I'm going to try to too. I'm not going to be Quantum where I'm going to hold it back and all that type of stuff. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, fam.